How you doing, man?
I'm
How's
good.
life and how's your health?
Good. I love being back in Detroit, living here, and yes, I always drink out of my favorite cup in the morning, a Detroit coffee mug. Uh,
Okay.
I'm actually enjoying this time off. It's kind of shed a new light on a lot of different, ways to socialize. This being one of them, working and Zooming and doing interviews this way. But it's also connected me with friends and family in a way that I haven't in a long, long time, which is kind of refreshing. Being able to just, be face to face with family and friends and talk for like an hour. And it's actually been quite refreshing.
Worst Cooks in America and Food Network. What is this show about? I mean, the title says it all, but are you guys really, it's a celebrity edition. Are you guys really that bad? Are you that bad?
I was that bad, yeah. And I thought I was pretty good going into this show, but I'm a barbecue guy. I throw stuff on the barbecue and think, ooh, those ribs are great, aren't they? But I realized when I got there that I didn't have knowledge of really anything. I didn't even know how to hold the knives properly. And if you didn't hold the knives properly, the two chefs, Tyler and Ann, would come by and mark your hand with red magic marker. And so I had to, that was just the beginning, was learning how to chop and dice and slice and how to prepare food. Then they told us, they said, this is going to be boot camp at the best culinary institute on the planet. And it turned out to be that way. They really wanted to take the lack of skills that we had and turn us into professional chefs. And that's the kind of quality that they demanded. Was, if I went to a five-star restaurant, why would I be paying a lot of money for this dish? And there were tons of clunkers along the way, and the cast is somewhat crazy. And it was really intense. It was hard.
I can't wait to see this because I think I'm not really much of a cook and I love watching cooking shows. So they're just always entertaining, and especially one where I can relate to now, where people aren't good apparently, and they're all celebrities, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So, what is your, besides the grill now that you've learned some stuff? What is kind of like your go-to dish that you can make at home? I guess now.
Well, in the mornings, I love making frittatas. With my specialty is kind of an egg frittata with spicy sausage, oyster and shiitake mushrooms, shallots, onions, and garlic. That's kind of my go-to morning dish, and it's delicious. What I didn't know is when you make a frittata, you have to flip this thing in a pan over onto a piece of wood in one motion. And if you get it wrong, it's either going to go on the floor or it's going to go into somebody's mouth. You have kind of a 50-50 chance of success. So, but that's kind of my morning dish. I really enjoy making those. My dinner dish is probably some kind of steak with a reduced red wine sauce and some kind of puree of either artichoke or asparagus, something like that. So I never thought I'd be saying these words that I was actually going to prepare that. But I really felt like I went personally for me from zero to hero on this show.
Now, does the show eliminate people as it goes on? Do you win tasks? The description, I didn't see a lot of. I'm kind of going to be surprised, but maybe you can just give a tiny more insight, I guess, on how the show works.
We compete, and then the two chefs, Ann and Tyler, they draw teams. And so I was on one team with Johnny Bananas and Brian Posehn. And Johnny Bananas was like next to me the entire show, cooking next to me, and it was like being next to the Tasmanian devil with a knife. It was crazy. So then the two teams compete, and we were Team Blue, and I won't tell you what we named ourselves, but it was really intense, and we had to be instructed by the chef how to make a certain dish, which took about an hour. And he would take us through the steps of a very complex meal, everything from scratch. We weren't opening a can of tomatoes and just pouring it into a pan. This was like, no, you're going to dice everything, you're going to prep everything, you're going to peel, you're going to chop, and you have to chop and peel the correct way, because the look of the final dish is really important. And so it has to be pleasing to the eye and pleasing to the palate. And so it was really, really intense. And I've never felt so pressured in my life, walking up to the chef with my dish going, oh, please, I hope you like this. And I was on a roller coaster. Some of my stuff was a big hit, and some of it was really crappy.
This is going to be fun to watch. So, oh my gosh. So Food Network this Sunday, May 10th, 9 o'clock. Worst cooks in America. That's going to be fun.